what you're looking at is called sight alignment. You're looking from the back of a rifle, and that front thing that looks like a person with their arms up in the air and their head in the middle, that's the front end of a rifle. And when you get something to look like this is called good sight alignment. And all you have to do to hit the target or hit the bullseye is get your sight alignment to match up with the target. Now what I'd like you to imagine is this. I'd like you to imagine that if you were to take that target and start to back it way up farther and farther and farther away from you, it would appear to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Hopefully your imagination is serving you and you understand that visual. That target is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where it's going to get smaller than the actual sight you're looking through. Now these are my hand-drawn pictures, but you should get this, what you're looking at now. This is now that whole target, you know. And in the center of that is the bullseye. And if you back it up even further and further and further, then it would continually to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, here's the thing, and here's where I need you to make the leap, and here's where I need you to get this. Most of us are some distance away from the things we want, some distance away from the goals we want in this business, in any business, and in life, which means that the target we're looking at relative to us is going to be relatively small. We're not right up on it. It's not in our face and enormous. It's far away from us, often a distance, so the perception, it's perceived to be small, even when you're using structure to look at it, to focus on it. Here's what I need you to understand, and this is a valuable lesson that I got. Regardless of how great of a shooter you are and how still you can be, and even if you do everything right, you have that target in focus, that target will appear to be moving around. That target will appear to be wobbling, moving around, moving around, moving around. Here's the most important lesson of the day, or advice of the day. If you chase what you see, if you don't rely upon a system to shoot, but you rely upon what you physically see with your eyes, then you will start to chase that moving around target. And what results from that is called chasing the bullseye. And the rounds, your targets, when they get all the way down in the distance and you start, hitting the target, your bullets will be outside of the target. Not only outside of the bullseye, but they can be completely outside of the target because you're chasing what you see. If, instead, you relax and you realize that you will always see movement, and all you have to do is trust the system of marksmanship, trust the systems of shooting, trust the shooting system in this case, and relax and accept the wobble. That's the way I've come to know to explain it. Relax, take a breath, accept the wobble. And when you accept the wobble, yes, your bullets will be moving around still, but they will be moving around inside of the bullseye. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference. So what does this have to do with business? Well, the wobble and chasing what you see is the stress that's generated in this business. Those are the things that may not appear to be going well when in fact they are going right. They may not appear to be going 100% accurate when in fact you are dead on target if you have faith in the system. Many of the systems in place, especially in this industry, are designed to filter out the wrong types of people so that you can spend the max amount of your limited time as a part-timer with the best type of people, whether those people be potential prospects for your product or potential teammates. But if you pay attention only to what you see, and you see a lot of people not getting involved, not being interested, being filtered out, then you can misinterpret what you're looking at. I'm giving you an example of how this applies. You can misinterpret what you're looking at and make very bad decisions and end up doing things that get your results outside of the bullseye. You must relax and apply a system, and you must have faith in the system. Another example I can give you of this very same thing, completely different analogy, but it's the most common analogy that I give in my leadership trainings, is that most of you, or some of you, well, let me see how many people on this broadcast. If the numbers are way up there, oh yeah, numbers are big. So that means most of you probably have never been to my house, right? But if I were to give you detailed instructions on how to get to my house, a system, a fail-fast system on exactly how to get to my house from where you are, get up, walk out of the room you're in, take a left, take a right, walk 15 steps, that detail. Here's what I want you to understand really quickly. And let's just say that That list of instructions to get to my house was 3,000 individual instructions long, because that was that detailed. Well, think about it. You could be 70% your way through that, through doing everything 100% right. But if you looked around, look back at this wobble, if you looked around through your gun sights, you wouldn't see my house. You would not see my house. There would be no evidence that you see my house in front of you, but you would be 100% on track and on target. And if you keep playing the clock forward, you will find yourself in a position where you are knocking on my door. The difference between people that don't apply systems and the people that do apply systems is this. When you apply systems, you have a paradigm of both thinking and acting and behaving in which you realize that what you see before you can be inconsistent with what you say you want. You say you want a huge income in this business, but you only have a couple of people on your team. For people that are uneducated and think that they need to see things that are consistent 100% with what they want right now can misinterpret the power of a couple of people on a team. My point, guys, is you need to adopt a systematic mindset. And we do to very extreme points in this business. Now, what do we mean by systems? Hopefully you got these two analogies and you understand that systems can keep you on track, can get you on the bullseye. But here's when people think systems, most people think of technology. And yes, we have incredible systems that we can make available to you as an Alpha Loop rep. Some are technology. In fact, we have one called Office Pro. It is still, in my opinion, one of the most powerful all-in-one inclusive marketing platforms available at any relative cost. And what I mean by that is, for the nominal cost we sell that, we've been selling that, improving the model and evolving that platform over years to get what we now are offering as Alpha Loop. And for the dollars it costs, I think it's still unrivaled in the marketplace. That's an example of a technical system, and it has video marketing, email marketing, autoresponders, list management, content management, text marketing, a bunch of really cool things that you may or may not want to use in the growth of your business. That's going to be one of those optional things you can think about. But we don't only mean technology. We also mean in behavior, in language. There's a systematic way that you can articulate what it is you do. Let me give you a quick example of what we mean by systematic way. When people ask you what it is you do, right now, I'm not talking about in the future, hypothetically as an active Alpha Loop rep, when people come to you and ask you, hey, what do you do for a living? Here's a question. Do you say the same thing every single time, or do you make it up right then in that moment? The vast majority of people, especially in sales and marketing, when it matters most, by the way, people tend to make it up. They don't use a systematic approach, and there's a fundamental problem of doing that. One is you can't track and correlate results to action. Unless you do it pretty much the same way over time, even if it's failing, you can, even if what you're doing is failing, if you do it the same way over and over and make modest adjustments, you will be able to correlate the adjustment you make to the success you now start getting. Or you can do what most other people do, is make it up and do it different every single time you do it, and never be able to correlate in your nest of success and moderate failures and really great success, how you did it that generated the great success. And because you can't correlate your action to that great success, you can't codify it in a system, which means you can't make it duplicatable across other people. And if you can't make it duplicate across other people, you can't get the leverage, the benefit of that result, the magnified benefit of that result, of your team doing it in a compensation plan that pays you for you being the leverage point. It's very, very powerful. And now I know many of you have probably been in companies that have never even spent the time to talk about things to this level and to this depth. And I think that's unfortunate, because these things are more critical, I think, to your success than whatever product it is you're excited about taking to market. Because if you don't take a systematic approach, if you don't back up your individual activity with systems, then at best what's going to happen is you're going to innately fall into some successful strategies, because your brain is a miracle, amazing thing, and it will automatically adjust to find ways that work, whether you're conscious of it or not. But if you're not conscious of it, you won't be able to do it on demand. And if you can't do it on demand, then you're not going to have consistent results. And if you're not going to have consistent results, you can't build a future on your results now, because you're not going to be able to guarantee that you're going to be able to do them in the future. And you probably can relate to some of this. You've been successful in some areas of life and not, but you can't put your finger on when and why and how. And that's because you're taking a very non-systematic approach to doing these things. We take the opposite view. We take the view that you want to take systems, and then you want to use systems inside of systems, and you want to use systems around systems, and you want to put systems around your behavior. You want to put systems around every element of your personal growth and development that you can identify and relate to. So even your personal growth, you can have your personal growth take a random growth pattern, or you can put a system around your personal growth that is designed to help move your personal growth along a certain path and keep your personal growth in a bullseye, right? Any aspect of your life you can do this way. Fitness, health, weight loss, relationships, size of your network, size of your bank account, size of your knowledge. All of these things you can apply systems towards. And the reason why I wanted to spend some time on that today is because we are so ingrained with systems as a philosophy and a driving force and core to everything we do in this business. Even if you joined us during our pre-launch and you just went along for the ride for the next couple of years, and all you did was through osmosis, just through being around us and talking about systems and applying them in and around this business and other areas of your life, because many of the things we teach you are going to be systems that you can use outside of this business, of course, especially systems in communication, systems in building rapport, systems in building respect, systems in creating leadership and developing leadership. Those are going to be things that you can do in and outside of this business. And, you know, you look at yourself a year from now, whether or not you've done any business through Alpha Loop or mobile apps or not, I guarantee you look in the mirror and you feel that this has been a worthy journey. So think about that. Think about, we have that level of commitment to systems and growth and support and things at an individual level. So my goal as CEO in this company, and one of the reasons why you're going to see me talk about these things firsthand, not me have my staff do it and me have my director of marketing do it and me have somebody from sales come in and do it. No, you want to get it from me so that you know the guy that's driving the philosophy, that's driving the ship. These are the things that he understands, at least to these levels, and these are the things that he's committed to at a personal level. And I'm telling you right now, my eyeballs virtually to your eyeballs, I want to create an environment here where Alpha Loop, where the impact on who you are as a person is so tremendous and transformative over the next years ahead of us that business success and financial success and recognition and all those things alone, you will still deem the journey with us one of the most rewarding and valuable experiences you have ever embarked on in your life. Now, how big of a bar did I set for myself, right? Well, that's the bar I'm trying to reach. So if that appeals to you and having that type of a leader driven by that type of a bar that understands systems and how nested system and all these things need to play out, and how if we can get you in the proper systems, then, you know, whether or not your life seems to be wobbling, you can still be on target, and all these things that I hope you're just getting a little bit of, then I just really don't see how this is something you can get educated on and decide not to do. I'm not saying you need to be super excited about any one of the dozens and dozens and dozens of mobile apps we intend to bring to market, or any one of the hundreds of thousands of small businesses we intend to help by giving them their mobile app, or any of the incredible checks we plan to pay on a monthly basis. Outside of all of that, I just don't see how you can be educated on using this as a growth engine. And you can apply growth to any part of your life you want to apply it to. How you can be educated on who we are, what we represent, what we're trying to do as a team, and decide it's not for you. That is not valuable enough for you to be a part of. That if you can do that, and I'm sure some of you will, because everything isn't for everybody, but when you can do that, when you can clearly understand what we're about and what's in it for you, in the bigger picture, and you decide that it's not for you, then in a tiny, small way, I feel I failed. I feel I failed you. Because that's the type of experience I'm trying to develop and create here at Alpha Loop. I'm not just trying to build a cool product. I'm trying to do something bigger and more meaningful than that. If I can change If I can help you change your world, then from your perspective, you have changed the world. And I can't imagine anything more motivating than that. My friends, it's been my absolute pleasure tonight to share with you a little bit more about this Alpha Loop experience. But hopefully now you will start to adopt the mindset that Alpha Loop is more than a business opportunity. It's more than great products. It's more than a great compensation plan. It's more than a great team even. It's a great experience. And you have the chance to add to what that experience will be. Not only for you, but for us and for countless numbers of people that have not had the fortune yet to hear about Alpha Loop. God bless everybody. Have a great night.